Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think everyone said how important this is. There is progress that's being made, and undoubtedly you are obviously personally very involved in this, and that's not been an insignificant factor. I think we're in the verge of a leap forward as far as the battle against tax evasion is concerned. But you might be a wee bit optimistic, I think, when you talk about Council. The Luxembourg presidency was very bold. Sometimes the idea of stable establishment, and sometimes there's a bit of a double language. Luxembourg was talking a very good game just before the presidency, but in the ECOFIN Council, they really came and watered their proposal down very considerably. So it's obviously important that Parliament keep up pressure on Council and help Commission in trying to do this. As far as CBCR is concerned, along with Mr. Rosati, I can say that European banks are subject to public CBCR, and they haven't all gone off to base themselves in China. So I think it's a useful thing for European competition and could actually militate in favour of it. You said, Commissioner, that you were very keen on public CBCR. That's good. But on the perimeter, you said that multinationals will only be effective if they make more than 750 million euros. Even if it's only 10 to 12% of companies, that's not insignificant. But is the amount, as opposed to the number of companies affected, that's more important? Surely the idea is that the largest number of multinationals should be affected by the legislation, because we do have an internal market and we'd like them to have a sort of balanced relationship with their little brothers and sisters at national level. So I didn't really quite grasp your argument there. A point made by Mr. Kufud, a final point, it's very important, so I'll say it again. In the previous tax committee, we were aware that there is a whole tax optimization industry, and Mrs. Joly talked about IKEA, and that would make what they do impossible. These links are very complicated because there are huge numbers of conflicts of interest. So my question, a personal one if you like, Commissioner, wouldn't it be good to start thinking about having an incompatibility system if you're on a board and advising private clients? Because I think that would work in favour of what we're trying to achieve. First of all, on the Council, I hope I wasn't foolishly optimistic, but I think I can say that the Luxembourg presidency was a good one to the extent that it did, under honourable conditions, allow the automatic information exchange on tax rulings to come out quickly. It wasn't what we wanted in the Commission, it wasn't all we wanted, it wasn't all that you wanted in the Parliament, but it did move in the right direction, and the spirit of the proposal was kept in, and it certainly wasn't the Luxembourg presidency that was trying to hold things back. Other member states were far more, and tried to water it down. Same thing goes to the fact there's clear political commitment on the Dutch presidency side to make progress along the lines of the proposal I've been telling you about today. I'm not obviously going to count my chickens before they're hatched, but there is a temptation to try and split the proposal up, saying BEPS is enough to solve the problem, but we need to get the other parts of it too. We need an overall approach. We need it if we really want to achieve the goals which we've set ourselves. And I think Parliament has a role to play here too, trying to nudge Council along, because there's a power which you enjoy, a really important role to play. People do listen to what you say. You can exercise pressure. And I hope you will do so, as I will try to do. As far as your final suggestion is concerned, as Commissioner, I'm trying to avoid personal statements, particularly when it comes to the portfolio of one of my colleagues. But anything that deals with removing conflicts of interest or avoiding them or incompatibility would seem to me to be a sensible idea. It's an area, I think you'd have understood, where we really need to go into. It's an area we need to go into in some depth, but that's still going on. It's not over. We still have a good deal to do, but let's not put the counts in the dock right yet.